So, I'm sure probably all of you guys by now know about the college admissions scandal. It is hilarious and also really fucked up. You basically had all these rich assholes, including many celebrities. They straight up bribed their kids into college. One of them is the aunt on Full House, and her daughter, I think her name is Olivia Jade, she basically bought her daughter's way into a school, and there's, videos of this girl saying, I really want to, I have work I have to do, I have, modeling in Fiji, so I don't know how much I'm going to go to class. What I do know is I want to experience, the party angle of college, so I'm going to talk to my dean and, work something out, And, it's just infuriating, you see. And somebody made a great point on Twitter. They said, for everybody who gets mad at minorities over affirmative action programs and, oh my God, they took my kid's spot. No, you know who really took your kid's spot? All these rich assholes who bought their shitty kids into these schools. And these kids do not deserve it and have not earned it and are kind of dumbasses. And there were instances of literally faking oh, my son is a pole vaulter. And they faked pictures of the kid mid-pole vault. They doctored photos, and then they let them in on a sports scholarship, and then they didn't do any sports, and just insane fucking flat out bribery and corruption, and all these rich kids get their shitty kids, these dumb kids into schools. And it really does show you that, money, wealth, power, it begets money, wealth, and power. So if you're from this upper echelon in the social order and economic order, you just kind of fucking plow your way through and buy your kids' way through. And, really, we should really all be having a serious discussion about estate taxes in this country, inheritance tax, because 60% of the wealth in this country is just passed down. Like the Walton kids. I call them the Walton family of moocher babies. Because, grandpapa or whoever fucking created this empire, and now they are all fucking billionaires. And they didn't do dick. Now, I'm not saying they gotta be poor. I'm not saying they gotta start with $0.00. But for fuck sure, they shouldn't start with billions of dollars. Is it equal opportunity when a kid in Harlem has zero chance of making it, but the fucking Walton family of moocher babies gets to not work a day in their lives and they'll be totally fine? I don't think that's okay. Especially we don't have healthcare in this country. We don't have free college in this country. This pulls the mask off of so much that's wrong with our system. How it's skewed in favor of the wealthy and the powerful. And it's an obscene scandal. Now, Stuart Varney, who's the most pompous Fox host that there is, he goes out on his shitty Fox Business show. And he decides to make this a political partisan issue? Let's take a look and then I'll break it down.
Here's how the college entrance cheating scheme worked. Some very rich parents used a consultant to offer hefty bribes to get their sons and daughters into very good schools. Two pathways to get them in. One, use big money to fix SAT scores and entrance exams. Two, bribe college coaches to admit unqualified students as athletes. There you have it. Sure leaves a bad taste in your mouth, doesn't it? The parents are rich and famous, the very people, the elites, who tell us how to live, how we are all deplorables. I don't want to hear another moral lecture from Hollywood. Thank you very much. I haven't asked, but I'm pretty sure those parents hate Trump. Just a few years ago, getting an unqualified kid into a good school and keeping them there would have been much more difficult because their intellectual shortcomings would have been caught. That was back in the day when tests and grades were much tougher. Today, Harvard's Alan Dershowitz says many schools have abolished failing grades. Many have dropped grades altogether. So once you've bribed your way in, you're in to stay. Another failure of the modern American university. This scandal has a long way to go. If you're very rich and you fund a new college building and your child gets in, is that okay? If your youngster studied, tried hard, got the grades but didn't get in, what do? Class action lawsuit, anyone? And even though these elite colleges didn't know what was going on, do they face any liability? These are legal questions for the future. What we're dealing with now is national outrage. The rich and famous, business and Hollywood, have been wagging their fingers at us for years, lecturing us on racism, sexism, and other evils. And now this. Last point. Some of the parents use the bribes as a charitable tax deduction. I'm done.
Yeah, Stuart, I'm done too. Why are you making this a partisan thing? I'm sure they hate Trump. Yes. Okay. Dude. The best examples of this fucking scam, which was just unmasked in all the gruesome detail. Donald Trump and George W. Bush. You think Donald Trump would have gotten into the schools he got into? He went to Wharton. If it wasn't for his daddy, there is a 0% chance he would have gotten in. 0. George W. Bush went to an Ivy League school. Literally the best examples of how fucked up the system is Donald Trump and George W. Bush. Literally. Literally the best examples. Literally. And his rant is like, these Hollywood liberal elites. Like, that's the thing. He's trying to paint it like, oh, it's all the fucking lefties and the liberals and Hollywood. Like, they're the real fucking... These are the assholes here. I'm sure they all don't like Trump. Let me tell you something. It ain't just these people. It's people involved in finance. It's people involved in Wall Street. It's people... It's a bipartisan elitist issue. And it's not right versus left. It's powerful versus everybody else. It's elitist versus everybody else. But of course he makes it, he makes it a partisan thing. Republicans versus Democrats, Trump versus fucking anti-Trump. And it's just so stupid. And he actually, to his credit though, he does bring up one thing about, what about legacy admissions? Yeah, legacy admissions are fucked up. Oh, just because your dad or your grandpa went somewhere, like now we're going to let you in automatically, or we're way more likely to let you in, or whatever the fuck it is. On The View, they were talking about this, and Joy Behar said that the whole original point of legacy admissions was to keep out minorities. That was the whole original point of it, and this is like open on the record type thing. So you want to talk about affirmative action? That's affirmative action, and it's affirmative action for rich white people. And then, yeah, there's this whole thing where, like, oh, rich parents buy a building and they legally bribe their kids' way into school. And it's like, that's not even viewed as on par with this scandal, but it's the exact same fucking thing. That's totally normal practice. Like, oh, rich people bought a building and now their shitty kid is allowed into the college and his grades suck. But the thing about this is it was just so tacky the way they bribed them and the kind of lies they told, that's why this blew up. But really, the whole fucking system is a mess. So Stuart Varney needs to understand that for once he can pack his partisan politics in a nice, comfy little container and push it to the side, because it's the wrong way to view this scandal. This has much less to do with partisan politics and much more to do with money, wealth, corruption, elitism, and the rich and powerful and the owner class versus the rest of us.